जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद. Hare Krishna. So we will continue our discussion on Sri Caitanya-caritamrita Madhyalila. Welcome to Caitanya Pravaha online course. So far we have covered the first 10 chapters, 9 chapters of Madhyalila. Today we will begin from the 10th chapter of Madhyalila. So in the previous 2 chapters, 8th and 9th chapters, we have seen the South India tour of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu completes his South India Yatra and he comes back to Jagannath Puri and he meets all his illustrious devotees at Jagannath Puri. And it's like a wonderful, loving reunion of so many great devotees. So that is the subject matter of this 10th chapter of Madhyalila. So let's begin. So first shloka, Kaviraj Goswami says, Tam vande gaura jaladam swasyayo darshanamritaihi vichedavagraha mlana bhakta shashyanya jivayat. Tam vande gaura jaladam swasyayo darshanamritaihi. So here Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu is compared with a cloud. Jaladhi means cloud, and swasyayo darshanamritaihi. And this cloud of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu is showering nectarian rain. Okay, what is the rain? That is his darshan, his audience. And all the devotees who are like fields, right? Swasya, they are like fields of grains, and they are suffering in separation from Lord Caitanya. Similarly, devotees in Jagannath Puri were separating. They were suffering out of separation from Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu came there like a rain cloud and showered nectarian rain of his darshan and encouraged them and reunited with them. So when Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu was in South India, when he was touring, at that time Prataprudra Maharaj once met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and he had a request. My dear Bhattacharya, I have heard that some great personality has come from Bengal and is staying at your house and is very merciful. So I have heard like that. So can you please arrange an interview with him? I want to meet him once. I want his darshan. Can you please arrange that? And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya very frankly said, what you have heard is true. A great soul, great personality, not soul, the Supreme Lord. Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu came, a great sannyasi has come, but arranging a meeting with you may not be possible because he is a very detached sannyasi. He would not meet a king even in his dreams. So recently he has left for South India Yatra. Then Prataprudra Maharaj asked him, why did he leave Jagannath Puri? Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said that that is the pastime of great personality because they want to distribute Krishna Prema to everyone, and when such great personalities go and visit some holy places, they purify the holy places from all the contamination that is accumulated there because of sinful people. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani svantahastena gadabhrita. So there are pure devotees. So they go to holy places of pilgrimage to purify those places from all kinds of contamination. Okay. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said that the Lord is Ishvara. He himself is very independent. He can go anywhere. So he's not dependent on anyone. So still I tried to keep him back at Jagannath Puri, but the Lord is independent. He just left. So then then King Prataprudra Maharaj said that you are very learned and experienced. So when he returns back to Jagannath Puri, I wish to make my eyes perfect by seeing him at least once. May I get some chance like that? Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said that, okay, I'll try. He will return very soon. I will try, but not sure. He generally doesn't meet kings. But I wish to have a nice solitary place, a peaceful place for him to stay. and that place should be close to Jagannath Puri temple also. So can you please arrange that for that? So Prataprudra Maharaj rendered service to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first, then he got an opportunity to take his darshan. So service, first seva, then he got darshan. Okay. So Sarvam Bhattacharya, who is acting like a guru of Prataprudra Maharaj, immediately engaged Prataprudra Maharaj in this seva. So then Prataprudra Maharaj said that, okay, fine, there is this house of Kashi Mishra. So this Kashi Mishra's house is very ideal for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to stay. So he can just stay there. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he completed his South India Yatra. He came back. So when Mahaprabhu came, he first had sent Krishnadas to inform all the devotees at Jagannath Puri. Krishnadas went and informed, and all the devotees with great eagerness came and received the Lord. And Sarvam Bhattacharya took Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Kashi Mishra's house. Right. So next day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see the darshan of Lord Jagannath, and then Bhattacharya also settled Mahaprabhu in Kashi Mishra's house. And Sarvam Bhattacharya told, my dear Lord, this place is very befitting you. Please accept it. And Kashi Mishra also is your great devotee. So please stay in his house. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that my body belongs to you. I agree to whatever you say. Okay. Then Sarvam Bhattacharya begins to introduce all the devotees at Jagannath Puri to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh Lord, all these great devotees are waiting for you like Chataka birds, crying in disappointment. So here is Janardana. He's a servant of Lord Jagannath. So, and he is a priest there. And he's Krishnadasa. He carries a golden cane for Jagannath. And here is Shikhi Mahati. He is in charge of writing. There is Pradyumna Mishra, and there is Chandaneshwara, Simheshwara, Murari Brahman, Vishnudasa. There are so many such wonderful devotees. And Sarvam Bhattacharya introduces all of them. At that time, Bhavanandare comes with his 4 sons. Actually, he had 5 sons. At that time, only 4 sons came. So the 4 sons were Vaninath, Gopinath, Kalanidhi, and Sudhanidhi. These 4 personalities, 4 sons of Bhavanandare come along with him. And the 5th son was Ramanandarai. So he is going to come to Jagannath Puri very soon. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Bhavanandarai and said that, oh Bhavanandarai, I am very happy to see you. You are as good as Pandu Maharaj, and your wife is like Kunti Maharani, and all your 5 sons are like Pandavas. You are all my eternal servants. Bhavanandara said, oh Lord, I am a Shudra. I am engaged in mundane affairs. Although I am fallen, I still had this good fortune of receiving your touch. You embraced me. So I dedicate everything that I have to you. My home, my riches, my servants, my sons, everything is a dedication to you. So Prabhupada says that a spiritually elevated person does not care about one's material condition, but sees everyone's spiritual identity. Here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is demonstrating the behavior of a very exalted devotee. He is just embracing them, right? He is just giving them all kinds of mercy. Of course, Mahaprabhu hesitated to meet Prataprudra Maharaj, but eventually he gives him darshan also. And the hesitation is also to demonstrate, to give a very good ideal example to all the future renunciants that they should not be very closely mingling with materialistic people. Right? Of course, Prataprudra Maharaj is not a materialistic person. So now Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced this Bhavanandarai, and then after all the devotees dispersed and all, then he showed Krishnadas. This Krishnadas, my dear Bhattacharya, my dear Sarvam Bhattacharya, this Krishnadas has left my company. He went to associate with Bhattadaris. I rescued him and brought him here. I am not responsible for this person anymore. I am no longer responsible for him. So here Prabhupada says that Krishnadas was distracted by Bhattadharis even when he is in the association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Maya is so strong that even a person who is directly associating with the Lord also could be allured by Maya. And such a person could be inspired or instigated to leave the company of the Lord. because every living entity has this minute independence, and they have a tendency to misuse our little free will. Then we become victims of Maya, and Maya just catches us there. Oh, like if a person is very sincerely using one's independence or free will to serve Krishna and is absorbed in that activity, Maya may not be able to distract him. But if a person has a tendency to misuse that independence and cut corners in the service or become distracted, then Maya will just overwhelm him, right? But the urges or the temptations are there, so we need to tolerate the temptations. So a lot of effort of a sadhaka goes in tolerating the temptations of Maya. So how long this effort should go on? How long this process of tolerating the temptations will go on? As long as we are in the material body. Shaknoti haiva yashodham praksharira vimokshanam kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayuktah. We are in the material body. Kama krodha udbhavam vegam. The vegas or the urges of lust and anger will continue to exist, and we have to tolerate these agitations, right? So when Mahaprabhu rejected Krishnadas began to cry profusely. He had tears because he was distracted, but he's a sincere person. He's a simple person. He wants to continue his service to the Lord. So the Lord did not become melt. His heart did not melt at all, apparently. So Krishnadas was crying. Mahaprabhu just got up from his seat, not caring for him. He left for his lunch. Okay. Then all the devotees like Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda, Mukunda, Damodara, all of them gathered together, and they thought how to encourage Krishnadas. We should also continue to give him some seva. So then they thought that we wanted one person to go to Bengal. Mahaprabhu has completed his yatra and he has come back to Jagannath Puri. All the devotees at Bengal would be very, very happy to know this news, and they may even visit our place also. They may even visit Jagannath Puri also. So let us inform. And we wanted one person to go and inform. So let Krishnadas go there. So it's a very important thing that we are noticing here, that devotees are more merciful than the Lord himself. Because even though a wrongdoer may be rejected by Krishna, apparently, the devotees become merciful upon them. So devotees become very alert in spreading the compassion of Krishna to all living beings. Right? Now, apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyag vyavasito hisaha. Although a devotee may sometimes commit some abominable activity accidentally, not intentionally, by mistake, not purposefully, not in a premeditated manner. Sometimes some mistake may happen. But because he is fixed up in the process of devotional service, Krishna continues to be merciful to that devotee, and Krishna shows that mercy through his devotee sometimes. So why Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu did not directly show some mercy on Krishnadas? Because he was acting like a sannyasi. If he shows some kindness, okay, to Krishnadas, people might think that, okay, fine, no problem, even if such distractions happen, it's okay. Okay, so people might get some kind of wrong message. People may misinterpret it in a different way. So that's why Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, being a strict sannyasi externally, he apparently rejected Krishnadas. But through his devotees, Nityananda, Jagadananda, Damodara, Mukunda, through his devotees, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu showed mercy on Krishnadas. So that the mercy that devotees show is also Krishna's mercy only. Devotees are representatives of Krishna's compassion. So devotees asked the Lord the next day, so we want to send this Krishnadas, we want to send one person to Bengal. So Sachimata and Advaitacharya, Srivas Thakur, Haridas Thakur, all these great devotees must be informed of your arrival. So can you please give us permission? Mahaprabhu said, okay, do whatever you like. So Mahaprabhu knows that Krishnadas is the person who is going, but he did not object. He said, do whatever you like. What does that mean? Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, may disapprove the wrong deeds of a wrongdoer, but he doesn't disown the person. So this spirit is imbibed by all his devotees also. So Krishnadas went to Bengal and he gave this good news to Navadvip. All the Navadvip devotees, even to Sachimata, informed that Mahaprabhu has come, and he has also given Jagannath Prasad to Sachimata. And he gave Jagannath Prasad to Advaitacharya, Srivas Thakur, and many such exalted devotees like Vakreshwar Pandit, Acharya Nidhi. He met all these devotees, Shivananda Singh, and he gave this Mahaprasad to all these devotees, and he informed that Mahaprabhu has come. So now, the person who was distracted by Bhattatharis in South India, and the same person who was rejected by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, has become the recipient of profuse blessings of such exalted devotees in Bengal. Okay. Offense or distraction happened in South India, rejection happened in Jagannath Puri, but blessings were received in Bengal. So sooner or later, Krishna will bring back the distracted devotee back into his loving company through his devotees, and he will reinstate him again in his good service, right? So that's why we should never give up hope. So Krishna is extremely kind. So that's why after deity worship we chant this aparadha shodhana mantras: Sthiti seva gatir yatra smritis chinta stutirvachaha bhuyat sarvatmana vishno madiyam tvai cheshtitam aparadha sahasrani kshiyante harnisham maya kriyante harnisham maya dasoham iti mam matva kshamasva madhusudhana. Please forgive me, considering me as your devotee. So devotee may do some mistakes, may do some offenses, but devotee has the simplicity to admit the mistakes. Devotee has the honesty and integrity to rectify those mistakes, and he has the determination not to commit that mistake, and he has the humility to remember that mistake and remain grateful to all those people who have forgiven him. That's the nature of a great devotee. So now all these devotees in Bengal departed to Jagannath Puri, Advaitacharya and Shivananda Singh, all these devotees, even inhabitants of Kulinagram like Satyaraj, Ramanand, Mukunda, Narahari, Raghunandan, their devotees traveled from Bengal to Jagannath Puri. Now Krishnadas has become recipient of the blessings of all these devotees. So then Paramananda Puri, meanwhile, Paramananda Puri came to Jagannath Puri. Right? So he went to Sachimata's house and then he stayed for a while, and then he came back to Jagannath Puri, and he expressed his desire to stay in Jagannath Puri along with Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He also made Jagannath Puri as his headquarters, right? So then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu arranged for a room, a solitary room in Kashi Mishra's house for Paramananda Puri, and he also gave him a servant. Okay. So then Sarupa Damodar Goswami came there to Jagannath Puri. Then Sarupa Damodar Goswami is a very intimate friend of Lord Chaitanya, and he was previously known as Purushottama Acharya at Navadvip. And he went to Varanasi to take sannyas after Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas. So his guru was Chaitanyananda Bharati. Great renunciant, he has taken shelter of Krishna with all his heart and soul, and he took permission from his sannyas guru, and he came to Jagannath Puri to be in the loving company of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Ramananda Rai and Swarupa Damodar Goswami, these are the two great personalities who would always stay with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and help him relish the emotions of Srimati Radharani. So this this Swarupa Damodar Goswami acted as a personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whenever people come with their literary works to show to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they cannot immediately approach him. They have to first go through his secretary, Swarupa Damodar Goswami. Swarupa Damodar Goswami will review the poetry or the composition that this poet has written, and if there is any apasiddhanta, he will immediately correct them, because he knows that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't like apasiddhanta. Bhakti siddhanta viruddha ararasa bhas sunite na haya prabhura chittera ullas. So Bhakti siddhanta viruddha. whatever is against the conclusive truths of bhakti and whatever is rasabhasa, Mahaprabhu just cannot approve that. So Swarupa Damodar Goswami first filters all the visitors. So now Swarupa Damodar Goswami, as soon as he saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he recited a prayer which describes 10 characteristics of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. It's a very wonderful shloka. I think I'll send you an article on this shloka. 10 aspects of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Helo dhonita khedaya vishadaya pronmila damodaya samyak shastra vivadaya rasadaya chittarpitonmadaya shashvad bhakti vinodaya samadaya madhurya maryadaya Sri Caitanya Dayanidhe Tavadaya Bhuyadamandodaya. So this shloka describes 10 characteristics of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Number 1, Helo Dhunita Khedaya, means Mahaprabhu's mercy can easily drive away all our material lamentation. Vishadaya, Vishadaya means it bestows all purity. It purifies everything. Mahaprabhu's mercy will purify everything. Then third, Pronmila Damodaya, it awakens transcendental bliss. Fourth, Shamyak Shastra Vivadaya, means there are disagreements in scriptures. Shastra Vivadaya means Shamyak means Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy mitigates the disagreements of scriptures. What does that mean? There are some Bhedavakyas in the scriptures. There are some Abhedavakyas in scriptures. Bhedavakyas are those statements that describe the difference between the Lord and his energies. And Abhedavakyas are those statements of scriptures that describes the non-difference between the Lord and his energies. So when we give more importance to Bhedavakyas, we become Dvaitavadis because we ignore the Abhedavakyas. We consider them figurative. When we give more importance to Abhedavakyas and consider the Bhedavakyas as figurative or casual, then we become Advaitavadis. Dvaitavada, Advaitavada. Everything is one. Two. So this is not the complete understanding of philosophy. There is oneness between the Lord and his energies, and there is also difference. So when we consider both properly by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, then all the disagreements in the scriptures are mitigated. Shamyak Shastra Vivadaya. So that's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bhedatva. There is no difference between the Lord and his energies because energy cannot exist without energetic person. An energetic person has no meaning without energy. They are one, but at the same time they are functioning independently. Not independently, they are functioning separately. Also, energy is doing its work while the energetic person is engaged in another activity. So, Shamyak Shastra Vivadaya. That's the fourth aspect of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Fifth, Rasadaya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributes all transcendental mellows, rasas. Chitta Arpito Unmadaya. So, Chitta Arpita Unmadaya. Mahaprabhu's mercy causes jubilation of heart. Shashvad Bhakti Vinodaya. Seventh aspect of Lord Chaitanya's mercy is that it always stimulates devotional service. Shashvat Bhakti Vinodaya. Samadaya, along with the full ecstasy and joy. Madhurya Maryadaya. Madhurya Maryada means Mahaprabhu's mercy glorifies the limit of Madhurya Rasa. So we discussed in the previous shlokas also, previous chapters also, especially in the conversation between Ramananda and Lord Chaitanya. The glory of Madhurya Rasa is established to the greatest possible extent. Madhurya Maryada. Sri Caitanya Dayanidhe Tavadaya Bhuyadamandodaya. O Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Amandodaya, your great mercy will invoke great fortune, good fortune. So these are the 10 aspects of Lord Chaitanya's merciful attitude. And Swarupa Damodar Goswami offered prayers to the Lord after saying this shloka. Swarupaka he Prabhu mara kshama aparad toma chhadi anyatra genu karinu pramad. Oh Lord, please excuse my offense. I have given up your company and I went somewhere else. Right? Actually, this is not the prayer of Swarupa Damodar Goswami. This is the prayer of all the conditioned souls. So Radhanath Goswami did not go anywhere. Or out of his humility, he's saying like that. He's always with Lord Chaitanya in spirit at heart. But the conditioned soul gives up the company of Krishna and then he wanders in the material existence. Right? This shloka comes in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Janasya Krishna vimukhasya daivat adharmashilasya sudukhitasya anugrahayeha charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. So people have turned their faces away from Krishna. Janasya Krishna vimukhasya daivat adharmashilasya. They have become so adharmic. So dukkhitasya, they have become extremely distressful, right? So means when a living entity turns his face away from Krishna, he will be subjected to so many material miseries, right? So he says that Tomara charane mora nahi premalesha, Toma chadi papi muyi genu anya desha. I don't have even a trace of love for your lotus feet. Tomara charana nahi prema lesha. Even little bit of prema also I don't have. Okay. Toma chadi papa muyi. I am such a sinful person. I left you and I went to some other place. Right? How unfortunate am I? Muyi toma chadeila. Tumi more na chadila. Kripa pasha gela gale bandhi charane anila. Although I left you, you do not leave me. Muyi toma chadila. I left you. Tumi more na chadila. You did not leave me. Kripa pasha, by the rope of your mercy, gale bandhi, you have tied my neck, bound my neck, charane anila, you brought me to your lotus feet. So somebody may think, if somebody is tying my neck with a rope and pulling me, that's like killing me. But it's not killing. This pulling is not killing. This pulling is giving mercy, right, to a sincere devotee, to a distracted devotee. Okay. So then Radhanath Goswami met other devotees like Nityananda, Jagadananda, Damodara, Mukunda, Shankara, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and then he settled there only. So like that, several devotees are coming and settling in Jagannath Puri along with Lord Chaitanya. Now Govinda comes. Govinda is a disciple of Ishwarapuri. Means Govinda is the god brother of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So he comes and says, I am a servant of Ishwarapuri and my name is Govinda. So Ishwarapuri attained Siddhi Prapti, means he attained perfection. But before leaving this world, he instructed me to serve you. I should become your servant. That's his instruction. And he told me and Kashishwara both. Kashishwara is coming. He's on the way. So I have come before to serve you. Then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu said that my spiritual master, my Guru Ishwarapuri always favors me with affection. So he had sent Govinda here. So, but I have one doubt. Okay, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had a doubt. He says that why did Ishwarapuri keep a servant who is from a Shudra family? Govinda happens to be from a Shudra family. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately said, Prabhu kahe Ishwara haya parama swatantra, Ishwarera kripa nahe Veda paratantra. So, Ishwara parama swatantra. Just like the Supreme Lord is completely independent, his devotees like Ishwarapuri are also completely independent. They are not subjected to any Vedic rules and regulations. Ishwarera kripa jati kuladina mane vidurera khare Krishna karaila bhojane. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's or Lord Krishna's mercy is not restricted to the jurisdiction of this jati and kula, caste and creed. He even took some meals in Vidura's house. When the Supreme Lord is taking meals in Vidura's house, why can't Ishwarapuri keep a Shudra as a servant? Snehalesha peksha matra Sri Krishna kripara Snehavasha hayakare swatantra achara. So he says that Krishna is dependent only on sneha, means affection. And he is obliged to such an affection and he acts very independent in reciprocating with that affection. Maryada haite koti sukha sneha acharane Paramananda haye yara nama shravani. So with the Supreme Lord, dealings in affection bring happiness millions of times greater than dealings with reverence and respect and formality. So Goloka Vrindavan is filled with such loving dealings, affectionate dealings between the Lord and his devotees, while Vaikuntha is filled with devotees who serve the Lord in reverence. Okay. So now Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Govinda, and just like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had this doubt, why Ishwarpuri accepted a Shudra as a servant. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clarified that doubt. Now Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a doubt. Can I accept my god brother as my servant? Okay. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya clarifies this doubt. Okay. Gurura kinkara haya manya se amara. So Gurura kinkara means Guru's servant is very respectable to me. How can I make him my servant? But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said that, no, don't hesitate. Bhattaka he Gurura agna haya balavan, Guru agna nalanghiye shastra praman. So the foremost duty of a disciple is to follow the order of a guru. A guru ordered you to accept one of his disciples as your servant, just accept it. Shastra praman, right? So, and he gives the examples of Lakshmana and Parashuram, all that. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, okay, fine. You have defeated me by quoting Shastra, so I will accept Govinda as my servant. So Govinda also settled there in Jagannath Puri as Mahaprabhu's servant. Now another devotee comes there, Brahmananda Bharati comes there. He comes to Jagannath Puri. But somebody comes and informs, Mukunda Datta comes and informs Lord Chaitanya, Brahmananda Bharati has come to see you. Shall I bring him here? Lord Chaitanya immediately says, he is on the level of my spiritual master. I should go to see him. You should not bring him to me. You should take me to him. So he immediately goes there. But as soon as he went there, he was a little surprised to see Brahmananda Bharati in a deer skin. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disapproved that deer skin. And he asked Mukunda Datta, you said Brahmananda Bharati has come here. Where is he? Where is he? Mukunda said, he is right in front of you. He is in your presence only. No. He is somebody else. Why will Brahmananda Bharati wear deer skin? We are talking of someone else. Where is Brahmananda Bharati? You tell me. Then Brahmananda Bharati understood that Mahaprabhu did not approve his deer skin, and he immediately changed his dress. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. So Brahmananda Bharati, out of this gratitude, he said that, oh Lord, now I see two Brahmans. So one Brahman is Lord Jagannath. He doesn't move there. He's in the temple. He's blackish. He's in Shyamala Varna. There is another Brahman also. He is moving. He's fair complexion. He's Gaura Varna. So both of you are delivering the world. One is moving Brahman, one is stationary Brahman. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, O Brahmananda Bharati, due to your presence, there are now two Brahmans at Jagannath Puri. Both Brahmananda and Gaura Hari are moving, whereas Lord Jagannath is sitting tight and immobile. So now Brahmananda Bharati says that, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, please solve this issue. Okay, I am saying something and then Mahaprabhu is saying something. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said that he also knows that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. So actually Brahmananda Bharati claims that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu purified me by taking away my deer skin. This is the proof that he is Brahman and he is all pervading and is predominator. I am a subordinate. I cannot be equal to him. So then all symptoms manifested in him, all symptoms of Godhead are manifested in him. So Varna Varno, Hemango, Varangas, Chandanangadi, all that verses also he quotes. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, Brahmananda Bharati, I see that you are victorious. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, I accept whatever Brahmananda Bharati says, because disciple has to accept the words of Guru. Then Brahmananda Bharati says, oh, although you are accepting my words, you are considering yourself subordinate, but your subordination has another reason. What is that reason? That is, you love to be subordinate to your devotees. Okay, so you like to be conquered or defeated by your devotees. That's the reason of your acceptance. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you have deep ecstatic love for Krishna. Therefore, wherever you turn, you simply heighten your Krishna consciousness. So then in this way, there was a very nice conversation between Brahmananda Bharati and Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So, meanwhile, Lord Chaitanya Kashishwara also comes to Jagannath Puri and meets Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so he used to help Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he goes to Jagannath temple. So he would be usher. He would be ushering devotees. Okay, fine. We just leave aside. Mahaprabhu is coming. So he would be keeping other people away from touching Mahaprabhu. That is his service. So that completes the 10th chapter of Madhyalila. And we'll enter the 11th chapter. So 11th chapter describes the Beda Kirtan pastimes of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, Beda Kirtan pastimes it's just the title of the chapter, but Beda Kirtan pastimes are there only in the last small section of this chapter. The entire chapter is discussing many things. One of them is the eagerness of Prataprudra Maharaj to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His desperation and his determination to receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very vividly seen in this chapter. So Mahaprabhu continued to stay in Jagannath Puri, and one day Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came to Lord Chaitanya and said, "My dear Lord, I have one small request. Can you please allow me to express?" Then Mahaprabhu, "Of course, why not? Please go ahead." Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, "There is a king named Prataprudra Rai. He is very anxious to meet you." And immediately Lord Chaitanya said, "Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, before placing a request in front of me, you should think whether it is a suitable request or not. How can you request me like that? How can you ask me to do something which I am not supposed to do? How can a Vairagi, how can a renunciant, a sannyasi, take the darshan of a king? How can I meet him?" And he immediately quotes shloka, "Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajanonmukhasya param jigimishor bhavasagarasya sandarshanam vishayinam athayoshitam cha ha hanta vishabhakshanathyopya sadhum." So he says that Nishkinchanasya bhagavad bhajanonmukhasya, for a detached renunciant who is engaged in bhajana of the Lord, bhajanonmukhasya, and who is seriously trying to cross this material ocean, param jigimisho bhavasagarasya, his aim is to cross over this material ocean. For such people, sandarshanam vishayinam athayoshitam cha, for such people intimately associating with vishayis, materialistic people and the opposite gender, are very, very detrimental for spiritual progress. It's like ha hanta vishabhakshanatopi asadhu. It is more abominable than drinking poison willingly. So I cannot meet this king. So then he says, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, what you said is correct generally, but this king is not just a Vishayi, he is a great devotee and servant of Lord Jagannath. Mahaprabhu says, yeah, that may be true, but still, whether a snake has poison or no poison, we become fearful of going towards a snake. So just as one is frightened upon seeing a live snake or even a form of a snake, similarly, a renunciant should fear meeting a materialistic person or the opposite gender. So one should be very careful, right? So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became a little afraid, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives a warning. He says that if you talk like this, I will not stay in this place anymore. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very unhappy, afraid, and then he went back. Meanwhile, Ramanand Rai came from Vidyanagar to Jagannath Puri again. Then he came immediately and met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Ramananda Rai said that, my dear Lord, I informed King Prataprudra. He's also speaking about Prataprudra only. I informed King Prataprudra that you ordered me to retire from my service, and he became very excited and happy and enthusiastic and pleased to relieve me from government service, and he continued to give me salary also, and he gave me permission immediately. Although he's in a very responsible position, he's given retirement, right? He's giving voluntary retirement. So then he left that place, and he came to Jagannath Puri. So then Ramananda Rai profusely glorifies King Prataparudra. Actually, this king is a very great devotee. He became so pleased upon hearing your name, and instantly the hairs on his body stood on end, and he exhibited symptoms of ecstatic love. And he humbly said, I am most fallen and am very abominable. I am unfit for the darshan of Lord Chaitanya. At least you go and associate with him and take his darshan. And Ramananda Rai profusely glorified the devotional qualities of Prataparudra Maharaj. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kind of played it down, saying that because the king has shown so much love for you, Krishna will accept him. What does that mean? Mahaprabhu only will accept him. Because Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Sei Gaura, sei Krishna, sei Jagannath. Okay. So Lord Chaitanya only distributed love of Krishna while exhibiting this conjugal rasa, right? So then he quoted several references saying that devotees are very glorious, and in fact Krishna loves the devotees of his devotees more than his own devotees. Okay. So Ramananda Rai is a devotee, and Prataparudra Maharaj has rendered service to Ramananda Rai. Thus, Prataparudra Maharaj becomes more dear to Krishna than even Ramananda Rai, in that sense. Okay. So my direct devotees are actually not my devotees, but the devotees of my servants are actually my devotees. So Mahaprabhu says this, quoting some Adi Purana. And like that, he quotes several shlokas from different places. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur aradhanam param. Of all kinds of aradhanas, Vishnu aradhana is great. Tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Even greater than Vishnu worship is Vaishnava worship. Okay, devotee worship. And he also quotes this shloka from Bhagavatam. Durapa hyalpa tapasa seva vaikunthavatmasu yatropagiyate nityam deva devo janardana. Okay. Alpa tapasa, those who are meager in their austerity cannot get an opportunity to do Vaishnava Seva. So Vaishnava Seva is the greatest spiritual opportunity that one can get. So Ramananda Rai offered obeisances to all the devotees, and Mahaprabhu also invited Ramananda Rai with so much love. And Ramananda Rai said that actually Ramananda Rai came to meet Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya asked him that, did you take darshan of Jagannath? Then Ramananda said, no, I didn't take darshan of Jagannath. I came directly to see you only. Then Lord Chaitanya said, what have you done? Why did you not see Jagannath first before coming to me? Ramananda said, my legs are like the chariot. My heart is the charioteer. So wherever the heart takes, the legs will take the person there, right? So my heart is naturally attracted towards you. So I have just come to you, right? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, that's fine. You immediately go to Jagannath temple and then take darshan of Jagannath. Then Ramananda Rai went to Jagannath temple. Then, meanwhile, Prataparudra Maharaj called Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So Lord Chaitanya has come back. What's the update? Okay. What about my request? I have put an application. Is it approved or disapproved or rejected? What exactly is the news? Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, I tried my best, but nothing worked out. When I requested him repeatedly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I will go from here. I became afraid. So I don't want to ask him again. Then Prataparudra Maharaj said, oh, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has descended on this planet to deliver all sinful people except me. He delivers even Jagai and Madhai, but he is not willing to deliver me. How unfortunate am I? I am determined to give up my life also if I do not receive his mercy. My body, my kingdom, my prosperity, my soldiers, my treasury, my influence, my power, all these are useless if I can't get little mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in fact, the more fallen a person is, the more is his right to be delivered by the Lord. I am most fallen, so I should get his mercy. The Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was totally astonished to see Prataparudra Maharaj's determination and devotion. God, he has developed such great devotion to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya immediately consoled him. My dear Pratapruddha Maharaj, don't feel disappointed. Don't worry. I am seeing your firm determination. Definitely Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will show his mercy upon you. What is the proof? The proof is your determination. So when a devotee is determined to uh, reach Krishna and serve Krishna, that determination is the proof that he is very soon going to get the mercy of Krishna. So Krishna will reciprocate with the determination, devotional determination, not a stubborn, egoistic determination that some people might have. So it's a very devotional determination, which is accompanied by detachment from everything that he had. Okay. So Sarma Bhattacharya, he is acting like a guru of Pratapruddha Maharaj. He is predicting. Now Guru is saying that the disciple will get Krishna's mercy. It has to happen. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is the Guru and Pratapruddha is the disciple, Mahaprabhu is the Lord. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gives a nice idea to Pratapruddha Maharaj. My dear Pratapruddha, on the day of Rath Yatra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will ecstatically dance in front of Jagannath's cart. And after dancing for a while, he will become tired and then he will go into Jagannath Vallabh gardens. In that garden, Mahaprabhu will be resting. So you go, not in the dress of a king, in the dress of an ordinary person, you please go there. And then you sing Rasa Panchadhyaya, Gopi Gita. Jayati te dhikam janmana vraja, Shreyata indira shashwadatrahi, Daita drisyatam dikshutavaka, Tvayi dhrita savaha tvam vichinvate. In this way, you should sing Gopi Gita or Rasa Panchadhyaya, and Mahaprabhu loves it so much. So if you go in the dress of an ordinary man and then serve him and then sing these verses, Mahaprabhu will definitely show mercy. This plan will work, no doubt about it. Go ahead, Vijayi Bhava. He just blesses him. So then Pratapruddha Maharaj becomes very happy with this. So basically this determination and this eagerness to receive the mercy of the Lord is the qualification of a devotee to receive the Lord's mercy. So, and a Vaishnava is always ready to help another prospective Vaishnava who is very determined. So now here Pratapruddha Maharaj is very eager to meet the Lord, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is making all arrangements so that he comes closer to the Lord Chaitanya. So when other devotees are eager for mercy, we should help them. We should facilitate that as much as it is possible for us. So bhakti is not just our own endeavors to come closer to Krishna. Bhakti is also helping other devotees to come closer to Krishna, right? So whatever we can manage, if we can do some seva to other devotees and help them in their service to Krishna, Krishna will be very happy with us, right? We should not be always thinking of my seva, my priorities, my schedule, my this, my that. No, yes, they are important. You should do your seva, definitely. But we should also help other devotees in their seva to Krishna and their approach to Krishna. And we should help, we should facilitate their approach towards Krishna. That's the important element. So now, Pratapruddha Maharaj asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when is Snana Yatra coming? Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied that only 3 days left. So then, one day before Snana Yatra, on the day of Snana Yatra, Mahaprabhu became very happy to see Jagannath ji, and Jagannath, after Jagannath went back after Snana Yatra, Mahaprabhu became very morose, very unhappy. So there is pralambha and sambhoga, feelings of meeting and separation. So then many other details are there. So meanwhile, this Bengal devotees came to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Srila Krishnadas went and informed, right? So all the Bengal devotees came to see Lord Chaitanya, and they were all so happy. So Gopinath Acharya has come. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Pratapruddha Maharaj, they were discussing something on the terrace. At that time, Gopinath Acharya has come there and informed that so many devotees from Bengal have come. So from the terrace, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Pratapruddha Maharaj, they were watching all the arrival of all these devotees. And being a kind and eager king, a kind king and eager devotee, Prataparudra Maharaj arranged for all the accommodation and prasadam of all these Bengal devotees. While Shivananda Sen arranges for the accommodation, travel and prasadam of all the devotees from Shantipur to Jagannath Puri, King Prataparudra arranges for their accommodation and prasadam at Jagannath Puri for several months. Such a great service, it's background service again. Mahaprabhu doesn't know all this. Of course, at heart he knows, he's super soul. He's the Supreme Lord. But no official communication is given to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu apparently at this stage. So he immediately said that I shall order the temple attendant to arrange all residences and prasadam for all these devotees. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, can you please show me all these devotees? Who are they? Who are they? Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told from a distance, oh, here is Advaita Acharya, here is Nityananda Prabhu, here is Shivananda Sen, and he just introduced all of them, what they do, how they associated with Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So from the terrace only, our Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya introduced all the devotees of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu to Prataparudra Maharaj. And Prataparudra Maharaj became so astonished. Seeing all these devotees, I am astonished. For I have never seen such effulgence, such brilliance, like millions of suns. All the devotees of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu are so effulgent and so great that they are chanting the holy names of the Lord so melodiously. Aiche prema, aiche nritya, aiche haridhvani, kaha nahi dekhi, aiche kaha nahi suni. So this kind of prema, this kind of nritya, this kind of haridhvani, I have never seen, I have never heard. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained that this sweet transcendental sound is a special creation known as Prema Sankirtan. Prema Sankirtan means congregational chanting in love for Krishna. Avatari Chaitanya Kaila Dharma Pracharan Kali Kale Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtan. So only to do Dharma Prachara, Yuga Dharma Prachara, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared, and the Yuga Dharma in this Kali Yuga is Krishna Nama Sankirtan. And he quotes Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagnehi Sankirtana Prayed Yajantihi Sumedhasaha. Okay. So then Prataparudra Maharaj asked several questions, and Lord Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya answers all of them. And all these devotees immediately visit Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu even before taking Jagannath Darshan, just like Ramananda Rai did. Okay. And Prataparudra Maharaj also calls Vaninath, the son of Bhavananda Rai, along with few other people, and says that you get a lot of Mahaprasad from Jagannath temple and give it to all these devotees. So like this, our Prataparudra Maharaj makes all kinds of arrangements for the stay of all these Bengal devotees. See, he doesn't know them. He never saw them. This is the first time he is seeing them from a distance. But still spontaneously, he developed that love and affection for all these devotees because he received that feeling of affection. He attained that feeling of affection for Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So the man to whom the Lord shows his mercy by inspiring him within the heart takes shelter only of Krishna, abandoning all kinds of Vedic customs. Okay. So Yare Kripa Kari Karena Hridaya Prerana Krishna Shraya Haya Chade Veda Loka Dharma. So whoever receives Krishna Kripa attains Krishna Prema, and they just give up all the protocols and all the other formalities of material world, or even Vedic scriptures also. So Prataparudra Maharaj then ordered Kashi Mishra and the temple inspector and to provide all the comfortable residences. So Prabhura Agna Paila Duhe Savadhana Hai Agna Hai Tabu Kariha Ingita Bhujiya. Very, very important statement here. Prabhura Agna Paila Duhe Savadhana Haya. So be Savadhana means be very careful in executing all the orders of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He was instructing his servants to serve Lord Caitanya. Be very careful, be very attentive in your service. Whatever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you just execute it. But don't stop there. Agna nahe tabu kariha ingita bhujiya. Even if there is no agna, even if there is no order from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, still ingita bhujiya, understand his intentions, understand his mood. Try to understand what he might need and accordingly serve. It's a deep instruction. So he may ask for something, give it. Even if he doesn't ask for something also, if you think that he needs it, you should arrange for it. Like that. So a first-class servant is one who completely understands the mode of the master and renders service accordingly. So next grade is, okay, he may try to, even after he told at least, then he will answer. Okay, he will execute that order. Okay, but even lower class servants have, they don't execute the order only, even after hearing. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received all these Bengal devotees. It's a wonderful union of all these devotees. So Gopinath Acharya and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, they were watching all the Vaishnavas coming to meet Lord Chaitanya, and Mahaprabhu first met Advaita Acharya. He embraced him, right? And they displayed such symptoms of ecstatic love. And seeing the time, place, and circumstances, they remained little patient and they reduced their emotions, right? Then there is a huge gathering at Kashi Mishra's house. It's a small place where a sannyasi is living. Suddenly, 200 people came there. So it's very crowded now. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu addressed Advaita Acharya. My dear sir, today I have become perfect by seeing your arrival. Okay. Then Advaita Acharya responded, Advaita kahe Ishwarera yehi swabhava hai, yadyapi apane purna sarvaishwaryamai, tathapi bhakta sange haya sukholasa, bhakta sange kare nitya vividha vilasa. Very sweet statement that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has made. Ishwarera yehi swabhava hai. This is the nature of the Lord. Yadyapi apane purna sarvaishwaryamai. Although he himself is complete and filled with all opulences, tathapi bhakta sange haya sukhollasa. Still, he becomes happy in the association of his devotees. Bhakta sange kare nritya vividha vilasa nitya. Only in the association of devotees, he does all kinds of ecstatic pastimes. He is naturally happy by nature, but his happiness increases in the association of devotees. That's the nature of the Lord. Then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu saw Vasudeva Datta. It's such another heart-touching behavior of this personality. So he is the brother of Mukunda Datta. So seeing Vasudeva Datta, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy and said, although Mukunda is my friend since my childhood, I take greater pleasure in seeing you than him. Vasudeva Datta, you are more dear to me than Mukunda Datta. Although he is my friend. Okay. Vasudeva Datta said he did not become envious of Mukunda Datta, Vasudeva Datta. Now you see, when the Lord is appreciating one devotee, other devotees don't feel envious. Then there is something lacking in their devotion. So there is envy in an immature devotee. When other devotees are getting some kind of prosperity or attention or mercy, special mercy. So Vasudeva Datta said, Mukunda has taken your shelter, and that is his rebirth, transcendental rebirth. Although he is my junior, he first received your favor and he has become my senior. Okay, although he is younger to me in age, he is elder to me in devotion because he received your mercy. And you favored him so much, and he is superior in all good qualities. So then the Lord told, for your sake only I brought 2 books. What are those 2 books? He brought from South India, Sri Caitanya-caritamrita and Brahma Samhita. So they are with Sarvabhauma Goswami, we can get them copied. Okay, so the copy. So there is no 2 copies there. So earlier, when in our childhood, we have 1 copy, we take Xerox of the copy. Okay, so now there is some printout, and you can now in smartphones you can just click. Okay, I have a copy now. So all the copies are everywhere now in the pocket close to the heart. They don't go from this pocket inside the heart because there are many other things also there, right? All the pocket Vedas are there, right? My entire folio All Caitanya-caritamrita, Gita, Bhagavatam, everything is there in this, but it's there in this only, here only. It should go inside. So earlier, accessing a book is very difficult. When I joined ashram, we don't have smartphones and all this. Laptop also I didn't have. So I would borrow one volume of Bhagavatam from one of our devotees or library, and I will note down all the important shlokas and main purport points in my notes, and then retain the volume. Again, I take the next volume and then take it. Sometimes I borrow from a friend, I borrow from library. That's how I studied initial cantos of Bhagavatam. After a couple of years, one devotee gifted me one set of Bhagavatam. Okay, I have own Bhagavatam. And also laptop also has come, folio. Of course, folio we cannot read much. Point is that in those days, there was no facility of having multiple copies of a book. But there is intense eagerness in devotees to receive that knowledge. They can go to the extent of copying the entire book. Okay, I thought I got disconnected. So now, in this way, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu gifted this Vasudeva Datta, these two books, and then he met Srivas Thakur. And Srivas Thakur, Lord Chaitanya said, "I am so obliged that I am purchased by you four brothers." So Srivas Thakur said, "Why are you speaking in a contradictory way? Rather, we brothers are purchased by you." Okay. Then seeing Shankara, the younger brother of Damodar Pandit, Lord Chaitanya told Damodar, "My affection for you is on the platform of reverence, Gaurava. But so keep Shankara with you because he is connected to me in pure love. There is no reverence there. There is no formality there." Damodar said that from today he becomes my elder brother because of your special mercy towards him. So Damodar Pandit did not become envious of Shankara Pandit. So then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu again comes to the Sivananda Sen and appreciates him. Like that, he meets all the devotees and then has such loving dealings. And he asked, "Where is Murari Gupta?" Murari Gupta just went somewhere else out of humility. I am not qualified even to come to closer to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was searching, and then Murari Gupta is somewhere else, and then he ran to Murari Gupta and says, "Please come, please come." Then Murari Gupta said, "Oh Lord, please don't touch me. I am so abominable. I am very sinful. My body is so sinful. You don't touch me." Then Lord Chaitanya said, "Please stop your humility, unnecessary humility. My mind is getting disturbed by seeing your humility. It's not a show. It's not a drama. He's genuinely feeling like that." So the Lord embraced Murari and made him sit right next to him. Okay, and started cleaning his body with his own hands. Okay, like this, because he was just rolling on the ground, right? He went far away. So he's just cleaning all his body like this. Then Mahaprabhu also met other devotees, and he finally met Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was at a distance, lying flat on the road, offering obeisances. He said that I am so low-born and an abominable person. I have no authority to go close to this temple or close to the Lord. So if I just can get some kind of solitary place, little close to the temple from a distance, I'll just stay there. That's my desire. I do not wish to show my face to the servants of Jagannath, the priests of Jagannath. I will stay away from them, but little close to the temple. So that is his humility. So although he is an exalted Vaishnava, he did not disturb the common customs that were current at that time. He was called Haridasa Goswami. Haridas Thakur was called Haridasa Goswami. So then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Kashi Mishra and other devotees to arrange for prasadam. And then Lord Chaitanya requested for a solitary room near a garden for Haridas Thakur to stay. And Haridas Thakur stayed there. So now this solitary chanting, he's getting a secluded place to chant. That is not meant for everybody. For Haridas Thakur, it is okay. But we cannot imitate him. We should be in the association of devotees. Because when the mind is alone, mind gets hundreds of thoughts. Mind gets distracted. But when in the midst of so many people, such kind of negative thoughts or sense gratificatory thoughts will not come in the association of several people. But those are very pure in their consciousness, they can stay alone and they can chant the holy names alone. Okay. So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu arranged for this special accommodation for Haridas Thakur. Then Kashi Mishra said, "Everything belongs to you. Why beg? If you want this accommodation, I can immediately give you. Then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu had settled Haridas Thakur there, and he said, Haridas Thakur said, "My dear Lord, please don't touch me. I'm very fallen." Then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Prabhu kahe, toma sparshi pavitra haite, tomara pavitra dharma nahi ke amate." I am just touching you so that I become purified. By touching you, I become purified. Kshane kshane karatumi sarvatirtha snan. Kshane kshane karatumi yajna tapodan. You are considering yourself sinful. At every moment you take bath in all tirthas, all holy places. At every moment you perform all kinds of sacrifices, charity and austerity. Nirantara karachari veda adhyayan dvijanyasi haite tumi paramapavan. So you are constantly studying the four Vedas. You are far better than any Brahmana or any Vipra, any sannyas. That's your position, my dear Haridas Thakur. Aho bata swavachoto gariyo yaji hivagre vartate namatubhyam tepuh tapaha jahubur shashnurarya brahmanuchur namagrananti eti. How a person who is chanting the holy names of the Lord is so exalted is mentioned here. So chanting the holy names of the Lord is the foremost process in Bhakti Yoga. Not only in our sampradaya, in other sampradayas also, right? Other bona fide Vaishnava sampradayas also. There is this shloka. He martyaha paramam hitam shrunitavo vakshyami sankhepatah samsararnava mapa durmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthitah nana shastramapasya chetasi namo narayanayetyamun mantram sapranavam pranama sahitam pravartayedham. In this shloka, Kulashekar Alvar says, He martyaha paramam hitam shrunatavo. Oh martya, oh human being, hear this supreme advice. Paramam hitam shrunatavo vakshyami sankhepatah. I'm going to speak to you very eloquently, in concisely, essence. I did analysis, I'm giving you essence, just accept it. You know what is your situation? Samsararnava mapa durmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthitah. You have entered deep into the ocean of material existence. And what is the characteristic of this ocean? This ocean has tides of miseries. Samsararnava apadurmi bahulam. So many waves are there, and these waves are miseries only. Samyak pravishya sthitah, you have entered it. Nana shastramapasya chetasi namo narayanayetyamun. Just give up all the other shastras. Nana shastramapasya, give up your analysis of all kinds of scriptures and just hear this one advice. What is that? Narayanayetyamun. Namo. Just chant this mantra, Namo Narayana. Mantram, chant this mantra. Sap pranavam, add Om also. Pranava is Om. Om Namo Narayana. Mantram, sap pranavam, pranama sahitam. Also offer pranams. Pravartayedham. And do this constantly. So constantly chant the name of Narayana is the recommendation there in that sampradaya. Constantly chanting Hare Krishna is recommendation in this sampradaya. So chanting the holy names of the Lord is a common method, bona fide method for deliverance in all bona fide sampradayas. Right? So Haridas Thakur is Namacharya, he is chanting the holy names, and Mahaprabhu gives him very, very special preference. And Lord Caitanya said, just remain here peacefully, chant Hare Krishna. Mandirera Chakra Dekhi. From here, you can see the Mandir, Jagannath temple dome, and you can see the chakra there. Karaha Pranam. Just offer dandavats and continue to chant. I will send you prasadam every day here. Okay, I have somebody, I will send you prasadam. Okay, he arranged accommodation, he daily arranged prasadam, and he would daily visit Haridas Thakur also. And this Haridas Thakur's hut becomes the accommodation for Rupa and Sanatan when they come there. Okay, so then Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu distributed prasad to all the devotees headed by Advaitacharya, and he also ate with them. Very nice, loving exchanges while taking prasadam. And now comes the title topic of this chapter, Veda Nritya. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after more than 200 verses, Kaviraj Goswami begins Veda Nritya now. Veda Nritya basically means dancing in Sankirtan while circumambulating the temple of Jagannath. All the devotees of Bengal and of course Jagannath Puri, Orissa, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would just divide themselves into 4 groups, and they have so multiple mridangas and kartals and singers and dancers, and they would dance. And while dancing and singing, they would circumambulate Lord this Jagannath's temple. That is Veda Nritya. So it's very ecstatic, and Mahaprabhu exhibited a lot of ecstatic symptoms in this, and there is miracle. So dancing for a long time, the Lord became still and ordered these 4 personalities, Nityananda, Advaita, Vakreshwar Pandit, and Srivas Thakur, to begin to dance in 4 groups. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited this miracle. He stood in the middle of the dancers, and all the dancers in all directions perceived as he was looking at them. So this is the special and unique exhibition of his godhood. He is present simultaneously at multiple places. So now he made 4 groups. In Rath Yatra, which we'll discuss the next class, he will make 7 groups. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dances in all 7 groups. And within a group he is dancing. And everybody in the group will feel that the Lord is with me only. Lord is facing me only. That's what happened in Krishna Leela also. So Krishna, before Brahma Vimohan Leela, Krishna sits with hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys. They were all sitting in concentric circles around Krishna. So every single cowherd boy, whether he is in front of Krishna, or left side of Krishna, right side of Krishna, or behind Krishna, or 10 circles away from Krishna, or 20 circles away from Krishna, every single cowherd boy has the experience of sitting right in front of Krishna and seeing him face to face and eating. That is inconceivable potential of the Lord. They will eat one laddu. Krishna, this laddu is so tasty, my mother has made it. Eat it. They will take from their mouth and then put it into Krishna's mouth. They may be sitting somewhere else, very far from Krishna apparently, but Krishna is there everywhere. So then you see Govardhan. When Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain on his little finger, so Krishna was facing one side, and there are some devotees next to him, some Brajavasis are next to him, some are in front of him, some are behind him, some are far away from him. But every single Brajavasi, every single cow, Gopa, Gopi, peacock, monkey, bull, all the personalities, all the Brajavasis, human and non-human Brajavasis, all of them have an experience that Krishna is looking at me only. Krishna is looking into my eyes only and reciprocating with my smiles and my love only. So Krishna exhibits so much of grandeur and majesty and power in creating the universe, maintaining the universe, destroying the universe, killing demons, protecting devotees, establishing dharma. Definitely Krishna exhibits all his powers. But the supreme display of Krishna's inconceivable power is in reciprocating with the love and affection of his devotees. He calls the name of one cow, Surabhi, come here. All the 9 lakh cows will hear their own respective names, all of them will come running at the end of the day. That is Krishna's greatness. He is one Krishna. He is in the same body. He is present with all the gopis of Vrindavan. He is present with all the queens of Dwarka in one form. Yes, there is one description that Krishna expands himself into 16,108 forms. Okay, and he associated with 16,108 queens. And in the morning, these 16,108 Krishnas come out of the 16,108 palaces and merge into one Krishna and go to Sudharma Assembly Hall for that day's discussions, right, activities. But Acharyas also say that in one form he's there everywhere. He's so fast. So other day in our Bhagavad Purana Canto 2, this online course, some devotee asked the same question. I was showing like this using my charger. Now you see there is this mouse. Okay, so now the tip of the mouse, when I'm rotating like this, you see the tip of the mouse at one place, right? At all places throughout the circle, throughout the diameter of the circle, you are seeing the tip of the mouse. One tip only. You are seeing at the same time everywhere. Just imagine there is fire here. Okay. So when the fire also sees like a circular form. Okay, that's something Chakravala, some name is there, right? So means at the same time you are seeing some material fire or some material this whatever this steel tip throughout the circle, at every place in the circle, at every point on the circumference of the circle. Similarly, if a material object can be fast and give you a illusion or give you a feeling that it's everywhere, Krishna can simultaneously be everywhere, inconceivably, in one body, in one form. One tip is everywhere, at all points on the circle. One Krishna is everywhere with all the devotees, giving an experience that everybody, he is with everyone. He's seeing the face of everybody. Okay. So now Mahaprabhu is there everywhere, dancing. So Pratapadra Maharaj sees this dance and he becomes overwhelmed. My God, this is the display of this is the magnificent display of Mahaprabhu's majesty. So he becomes so happy. So that completes the 11th chapter. We'll enter 12th chapter now. So 12th chapter is Gundicha Marjan. We are slowly entering Rath Yatra. For Rath Yatra, all the Bengal devotees came to Orissa and they did Beda Nritya. They will do Gundicha Marjan now in the 12th chapter. In the 13th chapter, they will be celebrating Rath Yatra. Okay. So Kaviraj Goswami begins this chapter. Sri Gundicha Mandiram Atma Vrindaihi Sammarjanam Kshalayantaha Sagauraha. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally washed and cleansed the Gundicha temple along with his devotees. And the Gundicha temple has become so clean. Swachitta Vat Shitalam Ujvalam Cha. Shitalam is very cool, Ujvalam very bright. Like Krishnopavesha Upaikam Chakara. So the temple of Gundicha has become as clean and as bright as the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's heart is so clean. Similarly, Gundicha temple is also very clean. So now Pratapadra Maharaj became very anxious. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from South India, he was becoming very anxious to meet Lord Chaitanya, and he wrote a letter to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He says that, please submit my petition to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya on my behalf. If I don't get to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then I will give up my kingdom. I will become a mendicant. I will become a bhikari. All the devotees became very concerned seeing this letter. Then all of them went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great concern, and they are unable to speak. Mahaprabhu asked, you have come to me to speak something, it seems. Why are you so silent? Why don't you speak out? Then Nityananda Prabhu gathers some courage and says that we are a little afraid that you might become angry hearing our proposal, but still we want to say, because this Pratapadra Maharaj has become so desperate to see you. So he wants to accept your lotus feet into his heart. So please show some mercy. Then Mahaprabhu said, I can understand that all of you want me to go to Cuttack and see the king. They never said that. Okay. If Mahaprabhu approves, the king can come here. But Mahaprabhu becomes so eager to hear all the eager while hearing all the recommendations of his devotees. He became so eager to go to Cuttack and meet Lord Chaitanya, meet Pratapadra Maharaj. But he presented it as if he's not interested, right? So, what to speak of spiritual advancement? People around will blaspheme me that I am going and meeting a king. What to speak of people? This Damodar will chastise me. Damodar Pandit, you will chastise me, right? If I go to see the king, if he gives me permission, I will go and meet him. So basically, Mahaprabhu is saying that the way he is desperate to meet me, I am also desperate to meet him. But somehow social customs are blocking me. What can I do? I am a sannyasi. As the Lord, I want to see him. I want to give my mercy to him as the Supreme Lord. And as a devotee, I want to associate with him. But as a sannyasi, I have some restrictions. So sannyasi upadhi is external. The Mahaprabhu's being the Lord And Mahaprabhus being a devotee in this pastime, they are from the perspective of these identities, Mahaprabhu is very eager to see Prataparudra Maharaj. So the Lord is actually the reservoir of all kindness. Okay, although he may speak externally harshly, but he's very eager, very kind. Right now, Mahaprabhu also kind of taunted Damodar Pandit also. Damodar Pandit is bold in criticizing me always. Whenever I do little mistake also, he will immediately catch. Before people catch me, he will catch me. So Mahaprabhu just indirectly just pointed out that Damodar Pandit is not very correct or foolish. He is very foolish in warning him and daring to criticize him. Okay, but Damodar Pandit, the way he says, "My dear Lord, you are completely independent. You know what to do and what not to do. I'm an insignificant jiva. What can I tell you? How can I give you any directions? By your own personal choice, you will meet the king and I will see it. The king is attached to you and you are already feeling affection and love for him and you are going to meet him. So that is your nature, right? Yadyapi Ishvara tumi parama swatantra tathapi swabhave havo prema paratantra. You are parama swatantra. You are Ishvara. You are completely independent. But prema paratantra, you are also a subservient of the love of your devotees. You will definitely see him. Mahaprabhu did not know what to say. He has no counter argument. He just kept quiet. Then Nityananda Prabhu said that, "O Lord, who in the three worlds can ask you to see the king? Still, he is very eager to see you. You should reciprocate with him in some way. At least give your garment to him. Give your outer garment to him so that he will get some hope of seeing you one day. And now he will get the representation of yourself or your mercy in the form of this cloth." Then Mahaprabhu said, "Okay, fine, give my cloth to him." Okay. So Prataparudra received that cloth and he respected and worshipped that cloth as if he would respect and worship Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's paraphernalia is also worshipful. Then one day, Ramananda Rai came. Okay. Actually, Prataparudra Maharaj requested Ramananda Rai. Okay. So then he said, "Lord Chaitanya is very merciful to me. He gave me this cloth." Okay. So there's a beautiful painting also. So Ramananda Rai informed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the ecstasy of the king who received this cloth. So now Ramananda Rai exhibits some little diplomacy here in the service of the Lord. Okay, he's Vyavahare Nipuna. Already he's a minister in the king's government. So he exhibited some diplomacy so that Mahaprabhu can show some little mercy on Prataparudra Maharaj. So Ramananda Rai frankly requested him. Prataparudra in great anxiety could not endure not seeing the Lord. Therefore, Ramananda Rai went and said, "My dear Lord, please show your lotus feet to King Prataparudra Maharaj at least once." Direct request. Okay. So Mahaprabhu said, "Please think before asking me something like this. How can a sannyasi meet a king?" Same story again repeats. So people will joke and all that. Then Ramananda said, "My dear Lord, you are supremely independent personality. You are not dependent on anyone, right? Why are you so concerned about public opinion?" Then Mahaprabhu said, "A sannyasi has to be concerned about public opinion." He gives very grave instructions to all the future renunciants. "Prabhu kahe ami manushya ashrame sannyasi kayamano vakye vyavahare bhayavasi." So ami manushya, Mahaprabhu is playing the role of a human being. Ashrame sannyasi, in sannyas ashram. Kaya mano vakye vyavahare bhayavasi. With my body, mind and words, I must fear public opinion. Why fear so much? Shukla vastre masi bindu yachena lukaya sannyasira alpachhidra sarva loki gaya. Just like on a pure white cloth, masi bindu means some kind of spot, black spot. Masi basically is the coal, coal, black coal. So the spots made because of that black coal is called masi bindu. So a black spot on a white cloth cannot be hidden. It looks very prominent. Similarly, sannyasira alpachidra sarva loke gaya. So even a little fault in a sannyasi also is advertised like world fire by these worldly people. Okay. Then Mahaprabhu gave an idea. Okay, fine. I gave my cloth to him already. It is said that son represents father. So I will not meet the king. Get the prince, get the son of the king. I will meet him first. Okay. So that way, Prataprudrama can become little happy. Then Ramananda Rai then informed the king, and the prince was brought in front of Lord Caitanya. Because he's a young boy, so Mahaprabhu would not have so much hesitation. He doesn't have that identity as a king. He may be future king, but he's a young boy only. So he looked very blackish, he had large eyes, he's dressed in yellow garments. So he reminded everyone of Krishna. Not that he is Krishna, but seeing him, everybody remembered Krishna. He's a great devotee. So Mahaprabhu embraced the prince, and ecstatic symptoms manifested in the prince. Now you see, the father is longing for Lord Chaitanya's mercy since long time, and the son gets mercy. Okay, so you see to what degree the Lord can test. Is it justified? What penance and what eagerness did this boy show to receive the embrace of Lord Chaitanya and receive this ecstatic prema? But somehow the Lord gave him mercy, but he's delaying mercy on Prataparudra Maharaj. But actually, while delaying the mercy, Mahaprabhu is filling the king's mind with so much of love that he became Krishna conscious. Okay, so now Prince showed some ecstatic symptoms. He chanted Hare Krishna Krishna, and the king became very ecstatic. King became very happy. So Lord Chaitanya acted in the society of his devotees, performing his pastimes like this. So on the previous day, this prince was an ordinary prince, normal boy. The next day, he is counted as one of the topmost and confidential devotees of the Lord. That's how the Lord can transform a person's life from being an average, ordinary person to a pure devotee. He can act any way he likes. Then some days passed, and Lord Chaitanya called for Kashi Mishra and temple superintendent and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and said, my dear sir, we are all your servants. So whatever you ask us to do, we will do. Okay. So then Lord Chaitanya said, we want your permission to clean, to wash Gundicha temple. Then this personality said, the temple superintendent, he's called Padicha. He said that in Bengali, he said that this cleaning of temple is not a service that is befitting you. You are exalted. So why should you clean the temple? But still, if you want to clean, you are allowed to clean, and you will get all assistance and instruments. So then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called all the devotees there. He got his volunteers. Okay. So he offered them garland, he smeared sandalwood pulp on them, and he gave, after honoring them with garland and sandalwood pulp, he gives a jhadu, right? He gives a broom. Now you start cleaning the temple. Okay. So it seems menial service, but it's a great privilege to be able to clean the temple of the Lord. Mahaprabhu personally takes up a broom, and he sets the right example how to clean. So a very elaborate description of this cleaning has been given. We can learn a lot of lessons from this organized way of cleaning. So first thing is enthusiasm. Mahaprabhu personally took up this service, and he did it with great enthusiasm, premolasa, while chanting the holy names of Krishna all the time. And all the devotees also borrowed that enthusiasm. When we have enthusiasm, that enthusiasm becomes contagious and inspires other devotees also to enthusiastically serve the Lord. Okay. And next, after enthusiasm, in the later shlokas, Kaviraj Goswami describes Mahaprabhu's absorption and devotion. So while doing this service, the Lord's body was covered with dust and dirt, and it has become transcendently beautiful. So Krishna also in Vrindavan, he plays in dirt, right? And his body becomes transcendently beautiful. Here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body is covered with dirt from Gundicha temple. Okay, and he also becomes very beautiful. Okay, and he was so absorbed in cleaning that he is not thinking that my dress will become wet. Sometimes even while offering obeisances or doing some other service, you may feel that, oh, my dress will become unclean. Okay, so then he very systematically cleaned. First he cleaned Bhoga Mandira, then other residences. And he collected all the straw and the dust and then grains of sand and collected at one place. And he gave a target to all the devotees. He said that, my dear devotees, I can tell how much you have labored by how well you have cleansed the temple by seeing all the straw and dust you have collected outside. It's more, for example, sometimes when we go for sabji cutting in kitchen, cooking has to happen for 100 people or 1,000 people sometimes. Then you have to cut sabji, right? So the 10 volunteers are there on a table, sitting on chairs with their cutting boards and the knives. Okay, so sabji is there, a big pile of vegetables are there in the middle. So people have to pick up and then cut the sabji like this. Pick up, cut the sabji. So the superintendent will see, the in charge will see, okay, which person has bigger pile of cut sabji, right? So definitely Bhavagrahi Janardana, the Lord is very much observant on the mood of a devotee, recipient of the mood of a devotee, but he's also setting a target, right? It's not only the mood, of course, mood matters, but also efficiency also is needed. So when you're rendering service to the Lord, you should do with some intelligence and with some commitment, show some results also, right? So he's setting a target. So I will see the amount of dust that you have collected, and he would delegate. Okay, this area you take care, this area you take care, this area you take care. He would just delegate areas, and he would do it with due diligence. He ordered everyone to clean the temple inside and outside. He exhibited that diligence. Then teamwork. So he would make teams, right? So this has to be swept. So about 100 men stood there with water pots. So they would gather water from the lake and they would form a human chain. So somebody will pick water in a pot and give it to another devotee. This devotee will bring some distance and give it to another devotee. Like that, these water pots are passed. For one person to go from here all the way to the lake and then bring that one pot here, it would be very tiring. But just to stand there and then pass on the pot, right? That's a teamwork, and you can cooperate with each other in this teamwork, and you can develop this nice friendship and relationship with each other also, right? So Mahaprabhu made everyone serve like this. So we may have our individual service, but if we also get an opportunity to do service with other devotees as a part of a team, that's ecstatic. Sometimes we need to participate in these festival services where we cut sabji in a group. Okay, I mean, we do something which is which doesn't require any specific expertise. Common, anybody can do. Okay, that kind of service if we do with other devotees as a team, that they are like very sweet moments in our whole practice of bhakti. And sequence is also important. We should do very very carefully. Now he washed the temple. First he washed the ceiling. Okay, and then he may start. Okay, let's start. So he cleaned all the floor very nicely. He mean say if he cleans all the floor nicely, then he will remember, I didn't clean the terrace. I didn't clean the ceiling. Again, they will put water on the ceiling. All the dirt will come on the floor. So we have to also do the service with some intelligence, right? The sequence also has to be set. First things first. First ceiling has to be cleaned, then walls have to be cleaned, and all that water will come on the floor and it will partially wash. That wash water which is coming from top will partially wash the floor, and you put little more water and then clean. So like that, he also used intelligence to clean, not just enthusiasm. Along with enthusiasm, we also need some common sense, right? And Mahaprabhu took assistance. He washed the simhasan there with his own hands, because some things the leader has to do. Some things could be delegated. Everything should not be delegated. Some things you need to personally do. Mahaprabhu personally cleaned this simhasan. And then now some devotees were washing, and some devotees poured water into the hands of Lord Caitanya, and Mahaprabhu is just washing. At that time, some people poured water on his feet. Okay, and the water fell, water washed the feet of Lord Chaitanya, and then some devotees came and then took that water and started drinking that water. Okay, stealthily, concealing oneself. So like that, they all were very nicely cleaning, and the water in the yard was just wiped there. So like that, cleaning happened with the cooperation of hundreds of devotees, and sometimes the devotees would collide with each other. Okay, while bringing the water pots, and some pots will break. Some people are in hurry. We need to tolerate all that. Sometimes something, every pot was not intact. Some pots broke also. So while doing some service, some damage could happen. We should be very tolerant and patient. Right? We should not feel very impatient or agitated when some little damage happens. And while doing all this, people were chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. And Mahaprabhu showed his expertise in cleaning, and he showed his devotion in chanting, both. And whenever somebody doesn't do properly, he would teach them, he would correct them, right? So, and he would say, "You are doing nicely, you teach that person." Okay, and he does it with great attention and care. And one Bengali devotee came and then washed the lotus feet of the Lord and then drank that water. Then Mahaprabhu chastised him. He called Samarudha Damodar. See, your Gaudiya Vaishnava, what he has done. Your Gaudiya Vaishnava means all Gaudiya Vaishnavas are followers of Swarupa Damodar Goswami. That's the meaning there. So within the temple, no one should wash other devotees' feet and then drink that water. Mahaprabhu is playing the role of a devotee. Although internally, Lord is pleased with that innocent devotee's devotion, he still chastised him. And like that, cleaning has happened, and then Mahaprabhu started Sankirtan. Ecstatic Sankirtan happened. In that Sankirtan, Advaitacharya's son Sri Gopala fainted in ecstasy. And he was not coming out only, he was unconscious. And Advaitacharya became very concerned, and he took him on the lap, and he was not even breathing. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed his hand on the chest of Gopal and said, "Gopal, stand up." And hearing this voice, Gopal just immediately came back to senses and he started dancing. Okay. Then Mahaprabhu had prasad with so many devotees, and this is also another very nice, loving pastime. There is a description of quantity of prasad and how many devotees sat there and in what pairs, and how Haridas Thakur exhibited his humility and not coming. So all these are very nicely described by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there were also joking conversations between Advaitacharya and Nityananda Prabhu. Jagadananda and Swarupa Damodar Goswami offered prasadam to Lord Chaitanya with so much of love and affection. And the dealings between Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Gopinathacharya and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, such jovial, light-hearted dealings were also very nicely described. Finally, there is some mock fight between Nityananda and Advaita. See, I am sitting next to an Avadhut and eating. What kind of place I got? I will go somewhere else and eat. So like that, there are some jovial, nice exchanges. So there's some negative praise also. Then the day of Netrotsav came, and all the devotees very happily saw the form of Lord Jagannath. So the thirsty eyes of Lord Jagannath became like bumblebees, and they took darshan of the lotus-like face of Jagannath. Jagannath's face was compared to lotus, and Mahaprabhu's thirsty eyes were compared to bumblebees, like that. So in this way, Gundicha Marjan episode is complete, and the next chapter, Rath Yatra episode, is described by Kaviraj Goswami. When we come there, we will discuss next Monday. Thank you all very much. Sri Caitanya-caritamrita.